Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Brax with another YouTube video. Today we got the best FPS settings and the best controller settings for Warzone Urzikstan releasing on December 6th. Yes, that is tomorrow. So I thought I would give you guys the best settings to get the most FPS and the best controller settings to use on the new Warzone map. Alright, so first we're going to go into an in-depth guide of my controller settings. There are a bunch of new settings this year and a lot of things that you might not have on. And I also got a hidden trick for you guys why your aim might not feel the same way it did in MW2, and we will get into that. So first, I play on default flipped. That means I shoot with my L1 and R1. I play on a PS5 Battle Weaver controller with two buttons on the back. So I shoot with L1 and R1, and I like this a lot more. This is the default for PlayStation controllers. I recently switched to an Xbox controller, and my controller actually doesn't have vibration, so we can turn that off. And for dead zones is another big thing that they introduced, where you can see this thing on the right. You can see if you have stick drift. So I play on really low dead zones because I like the snappy movement. So a lower dead zone is better. I play left 4, right 4, and my triggers are all the way on 0. And if you look at this left stick max, it's default 99. I put mine on 50. So if we can, I put mine on 50. So whenever I want to move my left stick, it's actually less movement on the left to less movement on my left stick like it would be on 99. So if you put it on 99, you see how much you have to move your stick for it to complete the motion you want. So I lower mine to 50, and as a less area, I have to move my stick to do the complete motion of moving my thumbstick a certain direction. That's basically what dead zone is. All right, we get into the aiming. So this is actually a hidden trick that I don't know why they did this. If you go to aiming and you go to horizontal stick sensitivity, your advance will be on 1.2. So what you have to do is you go to custom. It will be on 1.2 by default. You lower this to 1.0, and then you go back to your sensitivity, and it will feel like just like your MW2 sense or your Warzone 2 sensitivity. I don't know why they did this. I did the same for my vertical stick. It feels a lot better. And then I play on 0.9 ADS with all of these set to 1. All of these standard. Tac stance, I haven't really touched this. I don't go on tac stance much, but this is very important right here. Your aim response curve type, you're going to want to be on dynamic. Dynamic literally gives you the most aim assist possible. I don't know how you could not play on dynamic. And then ADS sense multiplier 1.0. This is like when you're aiming down your sight and you set your aim like with a sniper rifle. I don't have a custom sense presume. You can do this, but I think it might mess with your aim assist and your aiming a little bit. So I just have this on off. Target aim assist on, obviously. Default aim assist. A lot of people discuss having default or black ops. I like default. Black ops actually makes your aim assist worse up close, but farther away your aim assist is better. So, and default is the balance between the both. And yeah. And then gameplay. I do play automatic tac sprint. It's very important for Warzone. But if you don't, you're going to want to make sure you have on single tap sprint. So you only have to click in your stick one time to tac sprint instead of having to double tap. Grounded mantle on. I mean, if you want to mantle things, you need this on. Automatic airborne mantle off. Automatic hang mantle off. All right, this is another big one for Warzone. So their Treyarch and Raven Software and Sledgehammer are actually working on adding a feature to where you can map your dive to a different button than your slide. But for multiplayer, I have on slide only. But for Warzone, I think I'm going to add tap to slide so I can still hold down my button to dive, because we know dive is so important in Warzone, especially to do jump spots. And yeah, plunging underwater free. You don't want auto deploy on your parachute. Makes landing in a lot A lot of headache. Definitely don't want that on. Sprinting door bash on. Ledge climb behavior, movement base. Slide cancel sprint off. Aim down sight behavior hold. Change zoom. Sprint tactile focus. All of these just pretty much straightforward. Interact / reload behavior. Prioritize interact. This is the best Warzone setting. You need to have this on. And make sure you have on apply all plates. And when using your backpack, I use my directional buttons. And yeah, that is my controller settings. All right, let's get into the graphic settings. I do play on a dual PC 3080 Ti 5950X build. So I do play 1440p, so my graphics will be a little bit lower in game. But if you guys are playing on 1920 by 1080, your graphics will be a lot better and your FPS will be a lot higher than mine. But I choose to play on 1440p. 1440p is the best visually for this game, and it makes it a lot easier to see things. I play on 50 brightness. This is really just based on your monitor. A lot of people have NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency on. I actually have it off. It's not that beneficial, and it's proven to not boost your FPS by that much. So I wouldn't really have this on. It just causes more headaches. VSync, definitely want this off. Custom frame rate limit. This really depends on your monitor as well. I have a 240 Hz 1440p monitor, so my monitor is set to 240. But you can also set it to what FPS you get on your PC. And let's hop into quality. So the most important thing, make sure your render resolution is always on 100. If it's on any lower, it will be blurry. The most important thing for visual and seeing on the Warzone map is fidelity cast. You're going to want to make sure you have fidelity cast on to 100. It might drop your FPS a little bit, but it is very important for you to see on the Warzone map. I have texture res on low, texture filter on low, depth of field off. You don't want this on. It creates a little blur around your screen. Detail quality level low, particle resolution on normal, just for a little bit better picture on some things. Bullet impacts, you can turn this on or off. It's really preference. You can see where people are shooting from. Persistent effects off. Shader quality low. On-demand texture streaming off. Local texture streaming quality low. Shadow quality normal. SSR or screen space shadows off. Ambient occlusions off. Screen space reflections off. Static reflections quality low. Tessellation off. Terrain memory max. If you want this on max, you'll get a little bit more FPS. That's a little trick for you guys. Volumetric quality low. Deferred physics quality low. Weather grid volumes off. And water caustics for the best way to view people in the water. And if we go to view. All right. And another thing that is very talked about is what FOV you play on. A lot of people play on 110. A lot of people play on 120. 120 is probably the best to see your movement. But for the best way to play Warzone at the highest competitive level, you're going to want to play at 115. So you can see a little bit farther and still have that wider FOV, but you're not all the way out. So you still have an advantage in gunfights. Lower FOV is better in up-close gunfights. And you do get in a lot of up-close gunfights in Warzone. So I like mine on 115. Definitely want to make sure you have on affected. You get lower visual recoil when you have on affected. Third person doesn't really matter. Weapon wheel view, you want on wide. Vehicle, you want on wide. Not really, just little cool things to have. Makes the game look a little bit better. Motion blur off. Both motion blurs, definitely want to have that off. Can't have that on. Film grain on 0. Your game looks grainy if you have it on. So you want that off. And you want your camera movements on least. And yeah, you can also have on inverted flashbang if you want. When you get flashbang, your screen goes black, but I don't really care. I don't get flashed that much, but it is a little nicer on the eyes. And for the audio settings, I am on dual PC, like I said, and I do use IEM's earbuds. So my volume will be a little bit lower. This is all preference, but I do play on the PC speaker audio mix.